They had it all: the love story, the fame, the dream careers, and the kind of chemistry that made fans believe in fairy tales again. Hough and Hayley Erbert weren't just a Hollywood couple. They were the definition of grace and perfection, both on and off the dance floor. Every smile they shared, every performance they gave, felt like a glimpse of something rare, genuine happiness in an industry built on illusion. But behind those perfect smiles, something heartbreaking was happening, something they kept private until now. In a world where every moment is filtered and polished, Derek and Hayley chose vulnerability. They shared a chapter of their lives that few would ever have the courage to reveal, a story of love, loss, and resilience that's left fans speechless. Their emotional video didn't just break hearts, it reminded millions that behind fame and glitter, there's still raw human pain. And yet, this isn't a story of tragedy. It's one of hope, because even through the darkest moment, the couple has found a new beginning waiting just beyond the storm. But to understand why this moment hit so deeply, we have to go back to where their story began, on a stage that would change their lives forever. Before they were husband and wife, Hough and Hayley Erbert were two dancers chasing perfection, and somehow they found it in each other. Their story began under the bright lights of Dancing with the Stars, where talent meets pressure and every movement tells a story. Derek was already a legend, a six-time champion, choreographer, and fan favorite who turned dance into an art of emotion. Hayley, on the other hand, was the fresh face, graceful, confident, and full of quiet fire. When their paths crossed, it wasn't a dramatic love at first sight moment. It was something deeper, a connection that built slowly through late-night rehearsals, stolen smiles, and shared passion for their craft. Fans noticed it long before they admitted it. The way he looked at her during a performance, the way she mirrored his energy. It wasn't just choreography. It was chemistry that couldn't be staged. Soon, the camera started catching more than dance. They captured a love story unfolding in real time, a story that didn't need words. And when Derek finally confirmed their relationship, the internet erupted. Suddenly, they weren't just the dancers everyone admired, they were the couple everyone rooted for. From performing side by side on world tours to sharing quiet moments on social media, they became Hollywood's reminder that love could still be real, even in an industry built on performance. Their fans called them the golden couple of dance. But what no one knew back then was that behind all the perfection, a storm was slowly building. Because love stories that shine the brightest are often tested the hardest. And for Derek and Hayley, that test was closer than anyone realized. After years of performing together and building a bond that fans could practically feel through the screen, Derek and Hayley were finally ready for their next chapter, parenthood. It was a moment fans had been waiting for, the picture-perfect couple stepping into an entirely new rhythm of life. When they shared their pregnancy announcement in July, the internet exploded with joy. The video was simple, yet powerful. Derek walking toward Hayley as sunlight poured over them, the two embracing in quiet happiness. Then came the reveal. Hayley holding up a strip of sonogram photos, smiling through tears. No dramatic music, no fancy edits, just raw, pure joy. Their caption said it all. We can't believe the biggest thing to happen to us could be so small. For a couple who had built their careers on movement and grace, this was a different kind of dance. One filled with anticipation, love, and 1,000 dreams about the little life they were bringing into the world. But what fans didn't know was that joy would soon be followed by a silence that neither of them expected. Behind the smiles, the laughter, and the excited interviews, Derek and Hayley were facing something they never thought they'd have to share with the world, a loss that left them shattered. At first, they kept it private, away from the cameras, away from the headlines. Their world had just changed forever, but only they knew it. One moment they were celebrating new life, the next they were grieving the one that never made it earthside. They didn't rush to make a statement. They didn't need to. Some pain is too deep to turn into content. But like so many couples, they carried that pain quietly. The empty nursery, the stillness where there should have been heartbeat sounds. For fans, everything still looked perfect. The smiles, the performances, the energy, it was all still there. But behind those smiles was heartbreak. And behind the spotlight, two people trying to heal. And when they finally chose to share that part of their story, it wasn't for sympathy. It was for something much more meaningful. On October 15th, in honor of Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, Derek and Hayley posted a video that left fans in tears. This video, they wrote, is a tribute to a part of our story, a chapter of loss, love, celebration, heartbreak, and everything in between. It began with moments of pure happiness, them telling family and friends the news, laughter, hugs, even their dogs joining in on the excitement. But then the tone shifted. The video faded into quieter moments, soft music, silent looks, and the kind of pain words couldn't fully express. They revealed they had experienced a miscarriage. In their caption, they wrote, "There are some things in life that change you forever. For us, this is one of those things." They reminded fans that 1 in 4 pregnancies end in miscarriage, a heartbreak shared by millions, yet often carried in silence. For Derek and Hayley, this wasn't just a statement. It was an act of courage, a moment of honesty that turned their pain into a voice for others who had walked the same path. And just when the world thought the story ended in heartbreak, there was a glimmer of hope waiting to shine through. The couple's post didn't just focus on loss, it spoke of hope. "As we share this," they wrote, "know that there's a rainbow not far behind." That single sentence said it all. Amid grief, there was life again. They were expecting their rainbow baby, a term used to describe a child born after loss. For fans, it was a mix of tears and celebration. The love story that had inspired millions now carried even more meaning. They weren't just partners in dance anymore. They were partners in healing, proving that even after the hardest storms, love could rebuild what was lost. And soon after, Derek opened up publicly, giving fans a glimpse into how this journey had changed him in ways he never expected. In late September, during an appearance on the Jennifer Hudson show, Derek couldn't stop smiling as he talked about becoming a father. He admitted that sometimes, in the middle of his busy life, he forgets for a moment, then glances at Hayley's baby bump and feels everything all over again. "I look at her and think, whoa, I'm going to be a dad." And when he felt the baby kick for the first time, everything changed. He said it was like the world suddenly became vivid. "I felt the baby kick, and it was the feeling everyone describes. Everything became different. I realized I'm about to experience something I never have before." Fans saw a new side of Derek, not the confident performer, but the emotional soon-to-be father who couldn't hide his awe. And in that vulnerability, his story connected to thousands who'd walked a similar path, from heartbreak to hope. In a culture obsessed with perfection, Derek and Hayley's openness was rare. They didn't share their story for views or attention. They shared it to remind others that loss doesn't mean failure, and that healing is still possible. For years, they've inspired people through dance. This time, they inspired through honesty. Because sometimes the most powerful stories aren't about success, they're about survival. Derek and Hayley's journey is one that blends heartbreak with hope, a story that proves even when life falls apart, love can piece it back together. Their message wasn't just about loss. It was about courage, about standing in front of the world and saying, "This happened and we're still here." As they prepare to welcome their rainbow baby, fans everywhere are watching, not because of fame, but because of what they represent: resilience, love, and light after darkness. And maybe that's why this story feels different, because for once, a Hollywood couple didn't hide behind the spotlight. They stepped into it, holding hands, ready to show that even in heartbreak, there's beauty. Because in the end, their most powerful performance isn't on the dance floor. It's in how they keep moving, together.